Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder and CEO of Business Marketing Engine, and I will welcome you to today's show. We are going to be talking about the entrepreneur's marketing equation and how you can actually get more time back when you have the effective marketing equation in place. So stay tuned, and I will share this with you. All right. So, one of the things that I frequently encounter with clients, especially with prospects when I start to have early conversations with them, is that I will get on a call with them and ask them some simple questions, like, how many leads did you get in the last month? Or, how many sales calls did you get on? Or what is your average, what is your average sale that comes from your marketing efforts? And I would say over half the time, maybe even three-quarters of the time, when we're talking to new prospects, when we're looking at partnering with a new client, they don't have the answer to that. And this is something that we can all fall prey to. I've been in that position over the years in my company. Even though we were a marketing firm, we generate a lot of leads. I've definitely been in a position where I don't have effective tracking in place. And so when I don't know my numbers, that's when things start to get fuzzy. They start to be confusing. I start to get overwhelmed, and it just causes a lot of problems. And so one of the first things in the marketing equation that works for entrepreneurs is getting a clear scoreboard in place for marketing. And this does not have to be overly complicated. You don't need a crazy piece of software. If you have something, that's great. But what I would encourage you to do is set up a simple spreadsheet where you track how many incoming leads you got per week, how many of those turned into sales opportunities, whether you're getting on a sales call or they go through an application or they buy an initial product or whatever the next step you want them to take, and begin tracking that on a weekly basis. Ideally, you'll have some attribution, like these leads came from this source, this lead came from another source, but attribution is not actually as important as looking channel by channel as it is looking at here's all the marketing we're doing and here's the overall results. When you have a scoreboard like that, this is the number of leads that we received in a week, obviously, and then cumulative for the month. And you can compare that to your overall advertising investment that you're making, all the marketing that you're doing. Then you have a good realistic measure of, okay, we got 100 leads this month and they cost us each $75, whatever the cost is. And then you have the ability to have a benchmark that says, okay, here's where we are today and here's how we can grow and improve. Oftentimes we get into doing marketing or doing something new in our business, and when we don't have a clear scorecard, we get lost, we get discouraged, we get overwhelmed. And the unintended result of that is I've seen prospects, come and have a conversation with myself or somebody on the team. And we realize through walking them through our process of building a full marketing strategy that they unintentionally turned off a lead source that was performing really well simply because they didn't have a tracking mechanism and a scoreboard. And so that's the first thing I would encourage you to do is build something very simple. And then ideally you delegate that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show, but you delegate that and have an administrative person on your team or another person on the team own that for you and track that and report back to you on a weekly basis. When you do that, again, it gives you clarity on here's the number of leads we're getting, here's the results we're seeing from marketing, and it gives you that baseline. Until you start tracking your numbers, you don't really have the ability to scale lead flow, to see what's working, to see what your opt-in to sales calls, percentages, even from your sales calls to close percentages. When you don't have tracking in place, it becomes a challenge. And like I said, if you're, like many of the prospects we've talked to, if you're like me, the seasons I've been through where I don't have effective tracking or that scoreboard, don't feel bad about it. It happens to all of us. Businesses change, things shift. And this is one of the areas that we just need to refocus on and create that scoring method. Even if you're only getting 5 or 10 leads a month, you still want to establish that baseline so you have a clear marker that you can grow from. So that's the first thing in the entrepreneur's marketing success equation, is define a clear and very simple scoreboard that anybody on your team can understand. The second thing is to develop systems to control lead flow. This is where we love serving our clients as well, because there's multiple advertising channels, there's multiple marketing methods, everything from pay-per-click advertising on Google or Facebook to there's other display type campaigns you can run with companies like Outbrain. Google and Facebook and LinkedIn also have great display campaigns. There's direct mail, there's radio, there's cold email. There's a myriad of channels that are available. And what's important to do is define, here's who we want to target, here's who we want to talk to or attract to our business. And then let's try 2 or maybe 3 at most, traffic channels or lead generation channels, and define which ones give us the highest volume of lead flow and which also give us the highest quality of lead flow. You're only going to be able to determine that when you put things out there and test and you are tracking against that scoreboard. And that's what's going to allow you to say, okay, this platform is really good. We're getting good leads here. Or, this platform didn't really serve us well. We either need to optimize the campaign or we need to try a different approach. But having the scoreboard first, then being intentional about bringing on additional, lead generation channels, traffic channels, that will be the second thing. Because if you can clearly say, here's the channel we use, or here's the 2 or 3 channels we use, you don't ever want to have one channel, because channels always change from where you're driving leads. So you want to have stability with at least 2 or more. But once you have that clarified, then you want to be in the position where you can turn the dial and get more leads, or turn the dial down and get less leads. By having that piece in place, that's what's going to make it more effective for you. Have simple tracking, have controls that's driving leads. And then the last thing inside the entrepreneur's marketing success equation is make sure that you delegate all the pieces you can. If you're like me, I know I love being involved in sales and marketing. I love being involved in the strategy and putting those things together. But if I relied just on myself to do all those steps and tasks, it would be disjointed, it would be unorganized, and I wouldn't really be leveraging the full power of my team around me. And so in your position, ask yourself, do I have somebody on my team that understands how to track these things? Do I have somebody on my team that knows how to manage different traffic sources and different marketing channels that will drive leads? And if you don't, then you have the decision of hiring somebody, bringing them in, training them, which is a time-consuming process, which, in some cases makes sense, because if you really do need to build an internal marketing department, then you need to bring folks in, bring in leaders. And if you're building internally, it's definitely wise to have a marketing consultant, a strategist come in and coach and build that team with you. But other times it doesn't make sense to hire, the 4 to 5 people minimum that you're going to need to have an effective marketing campaign running. And that's where you want to explore working with an agency, working with marketing folks. That's where we love partnering with our clients, because we come in and evaluate where your marketing stands today, regardless of if you have a scoreboard or a sophisticated process. You still have marketing in the market if you're in business and you're selling to clients. So we come in and evaluate what you have and what's working, and then we define those additional channels, and you're able to delegate the execution of your marketing plan to our team, and we're able to help you scale. But regardless of what resource you choose to scale your lead generation, it's really important to have these 3 pieces: the scoreboard, the channels that you're going to develop that will drive lead flow, and then making sure that you delegate as much as possible so that marketing doesn't fall on you as the business owner, the leader, or even the manager, so that you can focus on strategy and management and delivery of great products and services to your clients, and really just have a top level view where you give feedback and input and manage how you scale up and down lead flow. When you put these pieces in place, you have a dial, a spigot that you can turn that will increase revenue as you increase lead flow. And it's one of the most sustainable ways to grow. So I hope that helps you think a little bit differently about your marketing. If you need any support with this, or if you would like to have a conversation and explore and see if we are aligned and how we could support you in scaling your lead flow so that you can get back the time you want and really have the ability to scale revenue, please reach out. We'd love to talk to you. You can visit us at businessmarketingengine.com, or you can comment down below or shoot me a message, and I'd be glad to talk to you. I appreciate you taking time today, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode.